In this exercise, let's study some basics of Kotlin functions. Let me create an app. Kotlin Functions is the app name. Kotlin Sport. Next, basic activity. Next, turn off backwards compatibility. So let's define a couple of functions according to the Kotlin requirements. So private function, keyword fun, and then let's define multiply function, which takes two integer numbers. So num1 int value, num2 int type, and then after closing the parentheses, we specify return type of this function. Then let's say for demonstration purpose, this function returns a double. Then you can specify the statements of what you want to do in the multiply. You can write anything you want. Then let's have a for demonstration purpose, let's have a result is num1 times num2. Then let's return result. So here, since result is through the type inference, it's integer. So what the error message is that it does not match with the double. So let's do two double conversion explicitly. In Java or C++, from smaller range like int to double is implicit conversion is allowed, but in Kotlin it's not acceptable, so you need to explicitly do that. Then let's call this a function for a demonstration. So in layout part, let's eliminate the constraint there. Then let's read the two numbers, text, plain text. So number one, we read, let's reduce the width a little bit. So another one there. Then let's put it under hello world text view under, and then side by side, let's connect them. Then let's make the text view bigger for some other message display purpose. And then let's add a button below those two input fields, and below that, like that. So what you want to do is read the two numbers, and then as you click the button, we call multiply function and then display the result over here. So let's assign IDs accordingly. So let's do ID display. Then this one, ID num1. Then instead of displaying some text down there, so let's give a hint. Hint is enter integer, so or n1 integer, like that. This one, ID num2, and the hint n2 integer. Then the value, we're going to delete that. So let's go to the programming part. So ID button, I forgot to give that yet, so let's give ID multiply button. label is a multiply. There. So go back to program, ID, multiply button, set on click listener. What you want to do here is read the value n1 from ID, num1, text, to string, and then to int or null. So n2 from num2 edit text, text to string, then to int or null. So if n1 is null, then say that ID display text n1 is not an integer. Then quit current function. Else if n2 is null, we do similarly. Text say that n2 is not an integer. Then return that. Now we have n1 and n2 actual number. Then call result, call multiply function by giving n1 and n2. Then we could display ID, display text that n1 times n2 is a result there. So we have several variation for function structures. Also, the very basic one so far is very much the same as Java or C++, except the parameter name and type are in a different order. So let's test this program. It's being installed. So let's type some value, something, multiply, result, because I forgot to give a $sign here, so it's just displayed the verbatim. Run again. Type some value, another value, multiply, something comes up correctly. So here, when you call function, an option is that you can give the name of the parameter explicitly. So when you define function multiply, I have given the parameter name num1 and num2. So optionally, you could do num1 equals n1 and the num2 equals n2. That is a Kotlin's function call feature, which helps readability. So what is n1? The parameter name is there, so that if the parameter name is given meaningfully, so this is a more readable code. So parameter name could be given when you call the function. That's an optional feature in Kotlin. So another one is that when you define a function, private func multiply 2, then same thing as int, and the return type double, same thing, exactly same thing. And if everything in this function definition could be one expression, if that is sufficient, one expression is sufficient, then we have a very shortcut notation. So instead of doing return, instead of giving opening curly brace, you can give equal sign and then specify the return expression. Here return expression is num1 times num2 is computed, then the result is converted to double. That's the expression, a return value expression. So this is called a single expression function. Has a special syntax in Kotlin, like a very compact notation. So we could call that as well. So result 2 is multiply 2 by giving n1 and n2. Then we could have another message. So here n1 times n2 is result 2. So second line, we are calling multiply 2 with a single expression functions implemented. So let's run the program. See the result. So here, let's type some number, another number, multiply. So second one is by calling multiply 2.